morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. I hope you enjoy your weekend. And the weekend is behind us. And Monday is here. Monday, Monday is here. Hence the title. I'm here. I'm here. There's so much to do that goes into your fitness journey or my fitness journey. Trying to get better at not being so instructional, more personal. So bear with me. But there's so much that needs to be done before I can get to the gym that there are some days where I don't, but then on the days where I do, it's such an accomplishment that you do have to pat yourself on the back. I do have to pat myself on the back for the simplest of things. Call it what you want, but by any means necessary. But when you finally get to the gym, like I'm here, I'm here. I am way to the gym. I have clients this morning, and I had all intentions of leaving out the house earlier than what I did. All right, there's so much that goes into pre-leaving the house. You know what I mean? You gotta make sure you got everything, right? I gotta make sure I have everything that I need in order to, live, in order to, go throughout my day and make sure I have a successful day. And I remember when I first started in 2017 personal training, I was trying to do so much. I was trying to do almost too much for the demands of my client, meaning like I had to, no shade, but slow down from a personal workout standpoint to teach them to train an individual. Because prior to that, I had never, trained anybody. But what I started to notice through my demographic of clients, there would be people when they did come to the gym, they would tell me about how much they had to do in order to get there. Prior to getting there, dropping the kids off at school or picking them up and dropping them off at the babysitter. Um, their husband ended up working late, so they couldn't make it their previous day. But when they did make it, they would talk to me about it and kind of be down because maybe, prior to that session, they may have missed, right? And so they may be a little bit down about themselves. But I would always remind them that you're here. You're here now. You are here now, and pat yourself on the back. Even as me, as I'm driving to this gym, getting ready to meet some clients, more than likely they're going to give me a debrief about their weekend, and it's fine. And they would tell me everything they did prior to getting to the gym, and my response would be, at least you're here. So same thing with me going to the gym. I'm here, right? When I pull up to the gym, it's I'm here, and there's so much that goes into that. And when you're younger, you don't really pay attention to that too much of everything that it takes to get to the gym, to work out, right? These are real life things and real life responsibilities that happen as you get older. When I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I could be at the gym for an hour and a half to 2 hours because I didn't have as many responsibilities that I do right now. And I empathize with you because I understand you have those same additional responsibilities. So by the time you do get to the gym, it is it is an accomplishment. It is an accomplishment. You know, everybody cannot spend 45 minutes or an hour and a half or 2 hours at the gym. If you can do that, that's cool. If you have a home gym like me, that's cool. But I'm talking specifically to those who just go to the gym, even come to my home gym. It takes a lot for my clients to get to where I am because they're working. They have their families they have to attend to. And there will be days where you won't be able to attend to your gym. There will be days where There are clients that won't be able to show up. And over the years, I've learned that's okay because it just takes so much to be present. It is. You really have to be chosen to be present. And I'm saying that from the aspect of last week, there were three passings, and two of them I knew, right? And one of them was my cousin, rest up, cousin Tyrone, and one was a former client. One was a former client of mine, and the third one I didn't know personally, but my condolences out to those people, to the family, my family members. But it makes me think about, okay, why am I still here? And the question is more rhetorical, personally, because it's like, irregardless of whatever conclusion that I may bring up to, God chose me to be here for a reason or multiple reasons. And I'm just thankful that I am here. I'm just thankful, very thankful that I am here because life is so precious, life is so valuable, and I'm understanding the value of life a lot more as I get older. When I was younger, I wasn't a wild kid, a wild child, or anything like that. But you don't necessarily think about mortality. I never thought about mortality to that extent. It's like, yes, my mother passed when I was 20, 25, 25, 26, and 08. And I really didn't think about mortality from that aspect so much. But as I've gotten older and gone through different transitions and people passing in my life, I start to value life a little bit more, just more. You know, just because I say more doesn't mean that I was exempt prior. It's just more. It's just more. Like, you may have a lot of money in your bank account. You want more. That's cool. As opposed to having no money and you definitely need more. But I began to appreciate life a lot more, and it helps me get back on track when I'm not feeling quote unquote it, where it just takes so long to get out the house to go to the gym, or in my case, because of my home gym, I start doing everything else besides working out in the morning. I talked to you last week, or I've talked to you a couple times about morning workouts, morning workout routines, and all that cardio, all of that. But contrary to popular belief, fitness is not a matter of proximity, meaning just because you have a home gym doesn't necessarily mean you are or will be fit like that ideally. And I'm saying it from a response of hearing people say, "Oh, if I had a gym at home, I would always work out." You know what? You probably would. You probably would. You probably would. I don't doubt that not one bit. But, that goes with the statement of, fitness is a matter of proximity, right? To an extent, if you live close to a gym, you can go to a gym. But if you have a home gym, you can, work out, in your home gym. But it takes a while. It takes a while for me to get in the mood of, okay, let me work out. Like this morning, I did some stretching, and that was very, 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 very much needed, and it was very much beneficial of stretching first thing this morning to get my legs loosened up because I'm getting ready to knock out a couple workouts, which I will be involved in with my clientele. So that's another reason why I didn't work out this morning in my home gym, because I figured that I just work out when I get to the gym. And there have been days when I got to the gym and had that same thought process, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. That was just me just slacking. But anyway, my point that I'm making is that it takes time. It takes time for you to get into your groove. And whatever time that is, trying to wipe my glasses off, whatever time that is to get into that groove, just be appreciative when you reach that point. You know, um, Dwelling on the past can be insightful, can be hurtful, can be happiness. All three. Meaning in each case, it depends on where you want to keep your mind at. Right. You can flash back on who you were. 5 years ago, in high school or 10, 15 years ago, whatever, and still chasing that ideal body back then. Or you can be sad about it, or you can start to think about, hey, you know what? 15 years ago, I wasn't the hottest thing on the planet, or I wasn't the hottest thing to me in the mirror, and I changed my life for the better, and here I am today. And so depends on where you want to rest your mind at. Depends on where I wanted to rest my mind at when I'm coming downstairs, getting ready to do something. Don't know whether it's clean up, whether it's check my emails on my computer. And in the back of my head, I know I have to do some type of physical activity in the morning, whether it's stretching, whether it's walking on the treadmill, or whether it's riding the stationary bike. I know I got to do something, but it seems like there's always something in front of me, and I kind of get down about myself about, why is it that I'm putting so many things in front of me to do? Well, it's life. There are things that you are going to need to do. There are things that I need to do prior to actually working out. But that's my system. But when I was down on the floor today stretching, I was happy. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here in this moment. I'm here in the present. I'm not necessarily thinking about, oh, why did it take so long? I already know why it took so long. You know what I mean? I know those answers. And I'm doing better at focusing on the now and not getting so antsy about yesterday or tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. Going back to the passings, you know, just last week. And it's like tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow's not promised. Tomorrow wasn't promised for those people, irregardless of how it happened, it just happened. Irregardless of how it happened, it just happened. And I'm trying to focus more on that versus asking the famous 21 questions. um, and it's like it is here. True enough, you got to ask questions to get some type of clarity, but it doesn't erase what is right now. Doesn't erase what is. So focusing on what is, focusing on the present, focusing on where I am right now, sitting in this parking lot, getting ready to walk into the gym. I'll walk into the gym. Oh, you know what? I really can't walk into the gym with you like that. I got too much stuff to carry, and I got to drink my smoothie. I got smoothie playlist recipes. You can search through my channel for that. If you're on the replay, if I get to it in the description, I put my smoothie playlist in there. Um, and I got, look at this, a little bit of ice. And I was supposed to have some bottled waters, but anyway, walking in with all that. But it's an example of everything that I had to get ready before I came to the gym, right? And the timing in my head, thought I had timing, but it didn't work out that way. But the bottom line is, okay, focus, 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 focus on what you need to do to get out this house to get to the gym on time. And Lord willing, when you get here, you're here. I'm here. I'm here. And focusing on the now is something that I'm working on, and something that I implore you to work on. So this was a quick live on Monday. I'm trying to be consistent more about joining this YouTube live every Monday, every Monday, trying to discipline myself to do that. Shoot, it was a time to make sure I got on this live this morning, because again, I have our subscribers only mode, and I have to start the live on mobile, then go to desktop and switch the settings to make sure subscribers only mode on it. Because you know what? You are a peaceful person, and you don't need to be distracted from any outside bots or whoever YouTube floods into the live. But and creating thumbnails and doing all that, things just take time. You know what? But I'm here. I'm here. And I made that decision to. And that is the final step into being present, is choosing. I chose to be here. I chose to log on to YouTube Live. I chose to say, you know what? Let's go live today. I want to go live today. And honestly, I didn't even know what I was talking about. Didn't know what I was going to talk about. And everything's off the top of the dome because of if and when I start to write a script, which is recommended, which is good, which is cool, which I have done before. Today just ain't that day. Yeah, I get too technical, and things don't flow the right way. So, word to Bruce Lee, be like water. learn how to flow, learn how to be formless and strong at the same time. More weight, get your more weight hoodies at successfitnessstore.com. And if you're on the replay, type in replay squad. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Peace out.